Hey, what's up guys? Coach A here, Allison Ethier, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna take you through 3 of beginning foam rolling exercises. The density of the foam roller means the hardness of the foam roller. Now I have a medium density that I will be working with today. I do recommend if you are just starting with foam rolling, you start with the lightest density. It has a texture kind of like a pool noodle, and this is the great one to start with, and I'll show you some other variations of foam rollers in another video. The first one that we're gonna do today is the back for the foam rolling, which a lot of people either love or hate. You can set yourself up with a mat or you can do it on a carpet, some cushion, and kind of some way that you can push-pull, because there's a lot of push-pulling involved with foam rolling. So this one is a medium density and it's a full-length foam roller. Sometimes they come as half. So whatever you have, we're gonna put it at the base of our hips. And for those of you with long hair, just make sure that it's out of the way, because when you roll on it, your hair could get caught under the roller and all of a sudden it's pulling your neck back. Put this at the base of our back, maybe a little higher, and we're gonna lean on it. I've had clients in the past feel like they're gonna fall over, so you can always put your hands out to the side until you get your balance point when it comes to rolling up on the foam roller. We're gonna roll just the upper part of the back, which is basically underneath, basically my bra line, and up towards the neck. Hold our hands kind of together or on the side if you feel like you're going to fall over, you're not sure of your balance. And using our feet, we're gonna push-pull and roll the upper part of our back. Now what foam rolling is good for, it's basically self-massage. Loosen up those tight muscles or muscles you didn't even know were kind of tight, like the upper back muscles. So beginning foam rolling, we roll up to about, just before the base of the neck. Hold everything nice and tight, or you have your arms out if you feel like you're gonna fall over. And yes, you have to hold your own neck. Now this is gonna get you all of the muscles of the back. At first, it might be a bit of a shock. Generally, we do 10 to 15 rolls. There, we take a little bit of a break, or if your neck gives out before, then obviously we stop. So I've done 1 round. Let's go ahead and do another one. And then up and back about 10 times. So you might feel the roller kind of slipping away from you. You can just step with it, step your feet, because it kind of has a little bit of a hip thrust kind of positioning going on here. Roll down. And as you become more comfortable or more confident in the rolling, it will change shape a little bit. Your movements will be more deliberate. And so if you find any places that are particularly painful, what we do is we pinch, we kind of just roll a little bit over it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then 10 to 15 times, and that's it for the back. Now the next one I'm gonna show you is the legs. Really, it's the outside of the leg, and we're gonna do the front of the quad as well. So I always like to start with the front of the quad with one leg at a time, rather than both legs. This opposite leg here to kind of push-pull like, running, okay? So you will be on your elbows, and you will be basically army crawling across the floor with the foam roll on the quad. And so the goal here is to roll forward, but then slightly roll to the side and then turn your foot outside a little bit. So you're gonna internally rotate your leg, externally rotate your leg, and get all areas of the quad. Push-pull, crawling across the floor. There's nothing, glamorous about foam rolling. So this is where it might start to get a little bit painful or a lot painful. And so when you feel pain, or places when you're like, oh, I didn't even know I was sore there, you probably need more foam rolling. We're gonna do what's called a band, which is just a band of connective tissue that runs down the outside of the leg. We're gonna go ahead and roll outside from all the way up to almost the top of the hip, all the way down to the outside of the knee, but not the knee itself. And this is usually where clients will swear at me. If you do a lot of legs, you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of running, it tends to get quite tight. And so you do it, until the pain is unbearable, or if it's a good, you're good to go, 10 to 15 rolls. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the opposite side. I'm just gonna switch sides because of the camera. So we're gonna go ahead and do the opposite side, same thing. And if you end up with one side that's a little more tender than the other, Again, that's normal. We're not perfectly balanced. So internal rotation, external rotation, roll all the way up to basically the hip flexor, basically where you bend at the hips, all the way up into there, all the way down just before the knee starts. And then we're gonna rotate to the side and get the outside of that leg. So this leg is gonna be in front to help balance ourselves, to give a little push-pull instead of just crawling with the elbows. Up, down, all the way up and down. Okay, all the way down to where the beginning of the knee starts, if you can see that there. Rotate in. If you feel anything that's extra painful, we pinch it. Basically, we hold the foam roller on that spot until the muscle relaxes. Down all the way up into the hip flexor. And you might be moving quite a bit in order to, once you get the movement pattern down, it will be better quality. So the last one I'm gonna move you on to is the glutes. I'm gonna do just sitting on the foam roller. Sit on the foam roller. I'm gonna put our hands behind for balance. Sometimes just doing it with both at the exact same time, rubbing the foam roller all the way up, almost into the small part of the back, top of the hips, like that. If you're like, okay, no, I feel no pain or anything like that, I don't feel anything, we're ready to move on to the next phase. So the next one is going on one hip. So you see I rotated towards you guys, down, and sometimes people leave their legs straight, and see how that feels. That's gonna get you in the small glute. And if you sit a lot, this tends to get quite tight. Maybe you're a runner, you're working a lot of glutes. And so for beginners, just leaning on that hip often is enough. 10 to 15 rolls per side, just to help you relax that muscle a little bit. Now I'm gonna give you the next advanced positioning, which if we take one foot, put it over our leg, then lean towards that knee, and I'm gonna go ahead and foam roll that muscle. It's gonna put a stretch on the glute while we're foam rolling, so you're really gonna feel it. You might have to adjust your hands a little bit. Sometimes I find with one arm it's a little bit easier than both arms behind me, because then I can really lean towards that glute and then control where I'm gonna foam roll. All the glute, maybe a little bit the smaller glute, all the way up and down. So these muscles tend to get quite tight. You sit a lot, and maybe you're working a lot of glutes, maybe you're running a lot. Let's do the other side. We'll shift and then rotate to the other direction. Sometimes I'll hold my leg, or you can have both hands behind you if you feel unbalanced, and then roll nice and slow. And if you have more pain in one side than the other side, this is normal. And like I said, I have had a few clients say a few choice words to me after doing these movements. All the way up, almost into the lower back. Feels like you're gonna fall off the roller even. Push and then come back up. 10 to 15 rolls per side. You can do it the right side, the left side one time, or we can go ahead and do it again if you feel like you need more. So once you're done, you can go ahead, stand up. Let's finish with a few cleansing breaths for today. All the way up, breathe, let it out. Good deep breath, reach tall to the sky, out through the mouth. And there you have it. You've managed to survive your first beginning foam rolling lesson. My name is Allison Ethier. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye guys.